Hello YouTube, today I will show you one of my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is Zoodiacs. It's far from what it used to be. The deck now has, let's say, evolved to a more stun version. With just one Zoodiac card, you get to have Drident, which is a pop one, and depend on hand traps and back row to stop your opponent. So we start with the monsters, main deck monsters. We have, of course, the three Thoroughblades. Thoroughblade is also a draw power when it's normal or special summon. You get to discard another Zoodiac card and you draw a card. Also, when it is attached to one of the Zoodiac cards, the Zoodiac Exec monsters, you get to deal piercing damage to your opponent. Also, it has the most attack out of all Zoodiac main deck monsters, 16. Next, we have 3 Zoodiac Whiptail. Its first effect is when it's on the hand or face up on the field, you get to attach it to a Zoodiac XYZ monsters, and its second effect helps you most of the times to deal with the Nibiru token you give to your opponent or any problematic monsters, because XYZ monster this card is attached to attack or battles at the after damage calculation, you get to banish that monster. So it helps dealing with those problematic monsters you cannot deal with. Next, we have the one Ratpier, the combo starter. I have 2 combos for this deck. The way I play it is the first one, which you can find in my previous videos, is to special summon Mega Clubs. And the other one, I have another one which you can block your opponent out of the extra deck with the Buster Blader sword, Destruction Sword. Next, we have 2 Ramrams. It's pretty much the other combo piece you need, because with Rat you send Ram, and Rat is a foolish burial for the deck for any Zoodiac card when it's normal summoned. Also, Ram, when it's popped or destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon a Zoodiac monster which is in your grave. Also, the second effect, when a trap card targets a XYZ Zoodiac monster, you get to detach one and negate it. It doesn't really come up, but it's nice to have. So yeah, this is the 2 combo pieces, but one Tenki can get you Rat, and Rat opens up one of the 2 combos. Next, I'm trying this one, is the one Bunnyblast. It has the secondary effect is pretty similar to Ramram, but with spell cards. And the first one is that you get the target of Zoodiac card in your graveyard and add it to your hand when it's destroyed by battle or card effect. Can be good sometimes when it's destroyed with your own Drident, and add back a Barrage. And this is for the Zoodiac monsters. Pretty much they are 1 card Drident, 1 card combo, so yeah, they float very easily. Next, we have hand traps, Ash Blossom, one of the best around. 3 Veilers, 3 Crows. Pretty much we play a lot of hand traps and ways to disrupt your opponent plays. Next, Skull Meister. Graveyard is a thing this format, so yeah, Skull Meister is pretty neat. And next, the 1 Destruction Sword for the extra deck lock. We go to the spell cards. 1 Barrage, because this pops face up card on the field, it special summons Zoodiac monster from the deck. Next, Tenki, which is just another Zoodiac monster, and sometimes Ash bait. Next, the 1 Monster Reborn. When you go second, you can steal an opponent monster. Could be problematic for your opponent sometimes. Even late game, when you just have 1 Zoodiac, you can recycle 2 others, and with Monster Reborn, special summon the third XYZ one, and go for Mega Clubs late game. For draw power, 3 Avarice, just 1 Zoodiac in your hand, and this you can make this alive pretty easy with just 1 Zoodiac monster. You just overlay, 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 and the last one you special summon to the extra monster zone and go for the gravity controller and put 5 in the graveyard that way and just activate Avarice and draw 2 cards. Next, for more draw power, we have Desires, because we don't care what we banished, just what we draw. And 1 Zoodiac Combo for the trap cards. If you happen to see the Ratpier late game, you get to dump this and recycle and also draw 1 card. And I do play the Solemn Brigade, 2 Judgment, 2 Warning, and 3 Strikes. They are the fastest traps you can find around. Your opponent most of the time cannot respond to this, and if you happen to draw 2 of this, two solemn cards, your opponent will have a really bad time playing against your deck. That's it for the main deck. We go to the extra. It's the 1 Hammer Kong, 2 Borbo, 2 because this will steal some games. If it is a grind game, this will steal some games because most of the people forget that this card can attack directly. That's why I play 2, because if I happen to burn 1, I got the other one in late game, so I can punch them for that little bit of damage that I need for game. Next, 3 Tiger Mortar. It has an effect that you can detach one from this card and target Zoodiac's XYZ monster and attach 1 Zoodiac card from the graveyard to that monster, which her in combination with Chaka 9 makes Drident every turn for your next 3 turns. Not every turn, but at least 3 turns you will have Drident on board, just the combination of these 2, because Chaka 9 will revive Drident and Tiger will put a material on Drident, so you can make it live. And speaking of Drident, 1 Zoodiac Drident, it pops 1 face-up card your opponent controls, a quick effect. Next we have 2 Mega Clubs. It's really easy to do in this deck. 3 XYZ monster can be done really easily with just 1 red. And the other effect it has is just a stun card. It will recycle your Drident every turn if it survives, because you get to target 1 card your opponent controls and 1 Exceed monster in your graveyard, and you get to detach that card and special summon the monster from the graveyard. The other effect is when your opponent pretty much cannot do anything to this card if it's not by spell and trap card removal, or if it somehow plays Exceed monster, which can deal with face-up card or face-up monsters. I mean, if it is Orcus, then yeah, you will have a pretty much bad matchup with that deck, but every other deck struggles with this guy. Next, Zeroboros. If you happen to activate 2 Desires and you have this, you get to activate this effect, special summon 1 for free, and steal 1 for your opponent, and use those 2 to special summon Zeroboros and maybe punch for game, because if you activate this guy's effect, the damage your opponent takes will be halved. And next, for the extra deck luck, we play 1 Gravity Controller and 1 Union Carrier. And this is for the deck. Also, I'll show you a quick little run-up of the extra deck lock combo. So all you need for this combo is red in your hand, and you normal the red, activate effect to send the ram to the graveyard from the deck, then overlay Chaka 9, activate Chaka 9 to special summon the ram, then overlay Drident on top of Chaka 9, activate effect of Dragon, targeting the ram, destroying it, then ram will activate and special summon Chaka 9, Then you want to special summon the Tiger Mortar in the extra monster zone, and you use Mortar effect to attach one to Chakanine, then Chakanine effect to special summon one Zoodiac from the graveyard. Then you link Tiger Mortar for Gravity Controller, and this two for Union Carrier, and last but not least you activate the effect of Union Carrier targeting controller, and you get to equip the Destruction Sword to the Gravity Controller. You lock your opponent out of the extra deck. Also, Gravity Controller will be a 2k. He cannot be destroyed by battle with monster in the main monster zone, and when it gets attacked by a monster in the extra monster zone, you get to bounce on both. But if they not deal with this, they cannot pretty much deal with this guy. At least they remove this one, or they have a monster or spell removal for this. So by battle, this guy doesn't die, and you get to lock him out of the extra deck.